1990, an Austrian singer ended up in a Swiss preselection with a violin. He was pretty well known throughout Austria, Germany and Switzerland as a part of the successful Schlager group Die Paldauer, which he had left the year before to focus on his solo career. What's his memories from Zagreb? Why did he return to the contest in '98 and gave the song away? How many more attempts has he done to reach Eurovision, and what is he doing today? This is Eurovision Legends with your own budget Mozart, Emil Löfström. Welcome to Eurovision Legends, Egon Egemann.
You are welcome too. I'm happy to be here.
How's life treating you in Switzerland on a day like this?
I love to be in Switzerland. We have hot weather at the moment after a lot of rainy days, but now it's okay. It's fine.
Great. The rain is here right now, just so you know.
I see.
With some thunder and lightning.
Uh-huh.
I would like to warm up with some quick questions to loosen up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
First memory from watching the Eurovision Song Contest?
Well, I started to watch Eurovision Song Contest when I was a little boy. And I think it was around the 60s, where Udo Jürgens once was one of the winners.
Yeah, merci chérie.
Yeah, that's right.
Merci, merci. Merci für die Stunden, Chérie, Chérie, Chérie.
Best song from Switzerland in Eurovision?
Oh, best song from Switzerland.
Or shall we say Austria, maybe?
Yeah, Austria, that's a clear thing.
Yeah?
I would say Conchita.
Rise Like a Phoenix.
Yeah.
And what a voice.
Yeah, great, really great. I loved her. I like the song from John Tears this year.
Yeah,
he's a great singer and it's a great song.
Least favorite song from Switzerland or Austria in Eurovision?
Well, I don't want to put anyone down. I don't want to be put down from anyone else, you know.
Yeah. You can say pass.
No, there was one song where I think Russian girls represented Switzerland. I don't know the year.
Estonian girls.
No, not Estonian girls. Or was it? Was it Ukraine? They represented Switzerland. I don't remember the name of these girls. It was something like a scandal girl band.
Wasn't it Vanilla Ninja?
Yeah. That's
yeah. But they were from Estonia.
They were from Estonia.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Who should have won Eurovision but didn't?
I think it was this duo from Netherlands. They had something like a country song.
Skies are black, thinking about you.
Who should not have won Eurovision but did?
Well, an act like Lordi was not my thing, you know, like it's a question of taste, of course.
Absolutely, but now we're talking about your taste.
Yeah, I would say Lordi.
Who got your vote in this year's final in Eurovision?
I liked very much this entry from Litauen. It was very it was a nice song.
Discotheque with the roop, yeah?
Yeah.
That was my favorite too, actually. Last quickie. Favorite country in Eurovision besides Switzerland and Austria?
Ireland.
Great! You survived the first part.
That's great.
Egon, how did music get into your life?
Oh, music got in my life very early. My grandfather was playing violin, and I got a violin from him as a present when I was about 5 years old. And I fell in love with this instrument and started to practice and went to music school, and that's like things developed for me.
Yeah, and your music career started early in life, and as a teenager, you became a part of the Austrian Schlager group Die Paldauer.
Yeah, I was not a teenager. I was in the beginning 20s, I would say.
Okay.
They asked me if I were interested. After I was already teaching violin on the music school in Austria.
Yeah.
And Franz Griesbacher from the Paldauer asked me once if I were interested in touring through Switzerland. So anyhow, I intended to do something different, to find maybe a new way of first of all, earning money. And by making music, of course. So I took the chance and went with them to Switzerland. And that's how it started up.
What was it like to be part of a group?
It was a nice thing because I wasn't really a fixed part of the group. I was a part of the show, of the midnight show. And my job was to create a new midnight show with them as a violinist, a soloist,
Yeah.
And I did all this virtuose violin stuff. And it was very successful in Switzerland and also in Germany and Austria.
In der Nacht hab ich oft an dich gedacht. Und ich fühlte mich alleine, denn Freunde hab ich keine, bin mit Sehnsucht nach dir erwacht.
Egon Lackner is your birth name. Why did you adopt a stage name?
Well, Egemann is, in fact, it's not a stage name. It was a nickname because when I was studying music in Graz at the conservatory, guys from Germany always didn't call me Egon. They always called me Egemann.
Okay.
So
yeah.
it came from Egon.
Yeah. During the years according to Die Paldauer's homepage, they said that you were among them from 1980 to 1989.
Yes, that's true.
But aren't you born 1963?
No, that's wrong. Internet sometimes is wrong.
Yeah. Okay, we don't need to know how old you are.
So
but
Google is not always right.
That's why I call you. Okay, but during the years 1980 to 1989, you tried to start your solo career and released some singles, and there was also an album released.
Yes, my first album, we recorded it in 1979, and it was released in 1980, and it was an instrumental.
Yeah, with you on the violin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I even made an album with a radio big band from Switzerland. Mm-hmm. It's a jazz album because basically I come from classical music and jazz music. That's what I studied. And from these recordings, I could offer you something really nice with a big band, the typical big band sound.
Yes, please. We move forward. In 1990, you took part in the national final for Switzerland. Mm-hmm. How did you end up there?
Well, first of all, I decided to leave Paldauer.
Yeah.
because I wanted to find again a new way, and had new plans in my brain, in my mind. And I got to know this manager from Daniela Simons, Urs Peter Keller, and at that time he also was manager of Attila Serefduk and Nella Martinetti, who later on composed a song for Celine Dion.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
At that time, I was still mainly the instrumentalist, playing violin, and in all my shows, I didn't really sing.
Not with the Paldauer at all.
I was a singer in the background, because I produced all the albums from Paldauer.
Exactly.
It was around 7 or 8 albums, but I was working particularly as a producer and composer and writer, and I didn't really sing, but Urs Peter Keller, he encouraged me to maybe combine singing with playing violin.
Yeah.
And I tried it out, and the first thing I tried out was an entry for the Eurovision Song Contest.
And it went pretty well. What can you tell us about the song Musik, klingt in die Welt, hinaus?
Well, in fact, it's not talking about a love between two guys, a girl and boy. It's talking about love between me and my instrument.
Yeah.
Me and my violin, and that's basically the meaning of the song. How I found it, and how I learned to love the sound of the instrument and play it.
Musik klingt in die Welt hinaus, Musik, die meine Geige spielt. Musik hört man in jedem Haus, Musik, die jeder fühlt. Musik klingt in die Welt hinaus, Musik, die meine Geige spielt. Musik macht manches Märchen wahr, Musik so wunderbar.
Who sang the demo? Me. I sang the demo and sent it to the jury, and they accepted it for the pre-show in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Which was in Lugano, and with 10 entries from Switzerland, and I won it.
I believe it was 8 entries.
Oh, 8 maybe. Yeah.
Do you still have the demo?
No, I don't think so.
Did it sound exactly like it sounded later when you performed it?
It sounded quite similar.
Yeah.
There was not made many different things and additional things,
Yeah. Who did you see as your biggest competitor in the national final 1990?
To be honest,
yeah,
I found myself not the best singer.
Okay.
No, till today, it's like that, because I never was a big singer. And that's why I finally mainly went back to being an instrumentalist, And at that time, there were so many good singers in this show in Lugano.
Yeah.
Like Sandra Studer.
Yes, she came last.
Yeah, and I didn't understand it. I really didn't understand it, and in a way, I felt like guilty, to win this.
Sylvie and Joel sang the song "Dites à vos enfants," and Sylvie Maîtresse is probably more known for her stage name Naja, which she used in 1999 when she competed for France in Eurovision and screamed the song "Je veux donner ma voix" into pieces. Do you remember them?
No, I have a very bad memory particularly in regard to names and yeah.
Because they were the favorite to win before the show.
In Lugano?
Yeah.
Ah, I see. I didn't know that. Now you tell me.
And as we said, Sandra Struder came last. And a funny nerd fact is that she later was also the presenter in 1998 when you competed for the second time.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. This I remember.
Since this was a very long time ago and the statute of limitations surely must have expired by now, there's something I feel that I must bring up. Because you were not a Swiss citizen at the time, but Austrian.
That's right.
And your Swiss wife, Cornelia Lackner, is the one credited for the song, although you normally have written songs afterwards.
Yeah.
Did you really not have any input on the writing process of this particular song?
Again, to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, she gave me some inputs. It was the other way around. She gave me some inputs, and I wrote the song after her inputs. You know.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I can say it.
Yeah, that's great. That's great because we knew it all the time.
Yeah. I knew that you knew it.
But I needed you to say it. With a 3-point margin, you won and got to travel to former Yugoslavia. What was that like?
Well, first of all, I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. And I was a bit very surprised. That's the feeling I had. Because even at that time, I didn't feel like a great singer, you know, and that's what I'm still thinking about myself as a singer, you know.
Yeah. What are your memories from Zagreb?
I have good memories. I mean, it has been a great, as I said before, a great experience to be on a stage like this. And it was one of the last years where you got the chance to perform with a big live orchestra, and it was quite a great feeling.
Did you notice that Yugoslavia wasn't very stable as a country?
Yes, we noticed that because there were extremely security stuff and all these things around happening, you know, when you go into the hall and yeah, it was kind of special.
Did anything happen behind the scenes?
I remember one strange thing. There was one Yugoslavian composer who claimed the rights for my song.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yes.
Have you heard about that?
Yes, I've heard about it. But I didn't find the information what his name was.
And nobody nobody could understand why he did that, you know, because he didn't prove it with a song or anything. It was strange, you know. It's yeah.
But nothing happened.
No, nothing happened. Nothing at all.
The song changed a little bit in the arrangement compared to the Swiss national final, and the arranger of the song was also the conductor, Bela Balint.
Yes.
Who had arranged the song Pas pour moi from 1986 too.
We raised it up a half tone to get some more powerful, you know, like that's the only reason why we did that.
I love the new arrangement. It's so bombastic.
Yeah. He did a good job. He did a really good job.
Did you play the violin live?
Yes, I played the violin live.
Do you still have the violin from 1990?
Yeah, the white violin.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in the other room. Yeah.
Could we hear when you play a snippet of Musik, klingt in die Welt, hinaus?
Of course. Just a second.
Lovely!
Are you still here?
Of course! Marvelous! It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, I did it.
I'm so impressed every time people can play an instrument. Gorgeous. As far as I can remember, and I'm certain that my listeners will correct me if I am wrong, you were the first Eurovision artist to play the violin on stage.
That's right. And that was the idea, to combine singing with playing an instrument.
Yeah.
And particularly this idea with the violin.
The competition in 1990 was heavily criticized, partly due to a blatant mishap when the very first song from Spain had to start over since the sound engineer failed to route the pre-recorded music into the ears of the conductor so that he could synchronize it with the live music. Did you witness this when it happened?
I remember there was happening something strange, but I didn't really. At the time when it happened, I didn't realize it because I was really busy with myself,
So it didn't make you more nervous about your own performance?
No, not really.
Were you nervous?
Yes, I was. Not extremely, but I knew I had to focus everything on these 3 minutes, and I did it in a way to focus on the public in the hall,
Yeah.
Not thinking about how many people are watching in the whole world. And that worked out quite good.
Yeah, it definitely did.
Yeah.
Italy won with Insieme, while
Yes.
France and Ireland tied second.
Sempre più liberità, dove più un sogno e noi non siamo più soli. Meet me in Paris on a Champs-Élysées night. We could be in Rome again, meet the Trevi Fountain light. We should be together, and maybe we just might. If you could only meet me somewhere in Europe.
White and black, danse balance sur le white and black blues. Nous les blacks, nous sommes quelques millions, 13 à la 12. And black.
What are your opinions about the top three?
Well, for me, this Toto Cotugno song was great, really great. And it was from the beginning on, when I heard it, it was the winner song.
Yeah.
It was, for me, it was a clear thing.
Was that your personal favorite of the songs
Yes.
also? Yeah.
Absolutely.
With 51 points, you earned an 11th place, which was top half since there were 22 songs competing.
Yes.
Were you satisfied with that outcome or disappointed?
I would say there's always a little disappointment when you are not in the first third, But in the end, I was it was okay for me. I was satisfied because I knew there were so many participants years before from Switzerland who were 18th or 19th or 20th, and it was okay for me.
And you got, this is funny nerd fact, but you got 2 12s and 1 8. And you got 51 points. And with 2 12s and 1 8, we already have 30 points.
That means that 2 countries really loved my song.
Yeah. What happened after Eurovision? I mean, directly after. Did this change your life?
Yeah, in a way it changed my life because I started my solo career in this year.
Yeah.
And it helped me a lot, of course, because I founded my own band and we did a lot of shows. And yeah, with this background from Eurovision Song Contest, of course, in particularly in Switzerland and Germany and Austria, I had a good basics. Yeah.
I know you released some albums there afterwards.
Yeah. I continued singing, combining singing and playing violin.
Yeah.
Gewinnen, verlieren und so viele Träume, die verweht, begehren und zerstört. Wann werden wir endlich verstehen? Verlassen, verzahlen, gewinnt der Verstand, verliert das Gefühl. Erwarten und hoffen, ewiges Suchen nach dem Ziel.
Particularly in the 90s, I did that, and later on, I did it in another way, in a new way, with this project, Mad Manouche.
Yeah, which we are going to talk about later.
Yeah. Okay.
I promise you.
Yeah.
In 1992. Geraldine Olivier won the Swiss national final with a song titled Soleil, Soleil.
Mm-hmm.
The song was composed by the singer herself and P.G. Wasserman, and later produced by you.
Yes.
The song got disqualified after the victory, since the composer first had sent it to the French language internal selection with French lyrics and got rejected.
Soleil, soleil, du printemps ou de l'automne. Soleil, soleil, c'est le nom que je te donne. Tu fais briller mes nuits, tu fais chanter ma vie.
And then sent it to the German language internal selection with German lyrics and was chosen.
Soleil, soleil, bitte lass mich nie allein. Soleil, soleil, ohne dich kann ich nicht sein. Du strahlst bei Tag und Nacht, du hast mir Glück gebracht. Soleil, soleil.
And for those who doesn't understand a thing here, Switzerland is a multi-language country.
Yeah.
So the song competed with German lyrics and won the competition with 6 points over Daisy Auvray, which later would go to Malmö in 1992, since Soleil Soleil got disqualified. What can you tell us about the song Soleil Soleil?
Basically, I just produced the first entry for this Swiss show
In French or German or both?
in French, and
Yeah.
what happened later on had nothing to do with me,
I totally get that, but
and that's why I know nothing about it. I didn't want to know anything.
well, in retrospect, in my opinion, whatever the rules said, I think it's a pity they didn't let Soleil Soleil compete for Switzerland in Eurovision
Yeah.
1992.
To my opinion, too.
Since it's so much better than Mr. Music Man,
Uh-huh.
which Switzerland instead sent.
Voulez-vous me jouer un air doux? Baissez les lumières autour de nous.
In 1998, you competed again in the Swiss preselection, and this time you had given the song to another artist, Gunvor,
Yeah.
who I talked to in this podcast only some weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
How come you chose her?
Well, we got to know each other through our manager.
Yeah.
At that time, I was managed by Rolf Egli, and he always made some talent scouting,
Yeah.
And he found her at a tap dancing competition. And I guess she told him that she always also was singing, and they made some demos together. And he told me from Gunvor, and I heard her, and I thought she was a quite good singer.
Yeah.
And that's how we got to work together.
Did you present the song Lazin to anyone else?
No, because she came with
Lyrics.
lyric ideas,
Yeah.
and I was just responsible for the music,
So she sang the demo too that was sent to the Swiss.
Yes,
Do you still have this demo?
maybe somewhere in the catacombs. In the deep catacombs.
In the dungeon.
Yes. In the darknet.
I assume that it was instrumental from the beginning.
The demo of Lazin, you mean?
Yeah. The first production you showed her. Or how did you present the song to her?
I think I played it on the violin, yeah. That's long ago. Tempi passati.
Lass ihn endlich gehen, wie oft ließ dich stehen. Es war nur ein Schein, lass ihn endlich sein. Jag betrogen dich.
So this was the first time you submitted anything to the Swiss preselection since 1990.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
By a pretty big margin of points, Lazin won the Swiss preselection, and everything went well. But as we all know, the press began to speculate about her private life and wrote headline after headline with new scandalous details every day leading up to the performance in Birmingham. What was it like for you to stand so close and watch this happen?
Very, very strange. Very, very strange. And I was honestly, I was a little bit sad about the way how the press media put her down,
Yeah.
for nothing.
Yeah.
Really for nothing.
Yeah.
And they were searching for things that nobody was sure that they even exist, it was a very sad story.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I remember from the Swedish press, they wrote about her because she had Swedish relatives. Her grandfather was Swedish.
Yeah,
and
that's why she her name Gunvor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to be honest here, no one is called Gunvor in Sweden nowadays.
Okay.
Old ladies and Gunvor from Switzerland.
Uh-huh.
I remember that they even wrote that maybe she has silicone. Horrible.
Okay.
But how much would you say that this affected your week in Birmingham?
I don't think so.
It didn't.
I don't think so because the big audience, the rest of the world, I would say, didn't know anything about these sad things. I don't think that the reason for these 0 points has to be found there.
Yeah. How did this affect Gunvor?
Well, I think we all were disappointed at the moment, but at least very soon we came around with that, like everybody will come around with it,
Yeah. Israel with a diva won. United Kingdom second and Malta third. Did you have any personal favorites yourself in 1998?
Not really, and particularly not this diva song.
Why?
Because it was too much disco for me. It was too much. It was too clean. Too less music. And yeah.
The song Lazin didn't earn any points, as we said here before. Do you have any theories as to why? For me, this is a no-brainer and should absolutely have got some points. So
because she Gunvor did a very good performance.
Yeah,
she sang very good.
Yeah,
and basically, I really didn't understand what was happening, and I guess you will never find the reason for it. It happened like it happened.
The bookmakers tipped you to be among the top 10.
That's the strange thing, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that France had pretty low odds too, but they only got 3 points. So you can never know in advance what will happen in Eurovision.
That's right.
But honestly, how devastated were you?
You mean disappointed?
Exactly.
Yeah, at the moment, of course, we were disappointed, and we didn't understand what was happening, you know. But when you sleep 1, 2, 3 nights over it, you accept it. Life is going on.
Yeah. What was it like to travel back home this time? I mean, going back to Switzerland with the press.
Yeah, it continued in the same manner, you know, like I guess for Gunvor it was not easy. I was in the easier position to be in the back, you know. It's
You did one more song with Gunvor titled Money Makes, and that song flopped on the charts in Switzerland. Was that the reason your collaboration with her ended, or why did that happen?
No, that was not the reason for ending the collaboration. I think it was more the reason that the record company was not really interested in continuing producing and publishing, you know.
Yeah.
And so it just went to the sand, you know.
Yeah. I actually have the CD single of Money Makes in my hand just right now, because a fan of the podcast sent it to me after my interview with the Gunvor. And it's very 90s. It's extremely 90s.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true. Money makes the world go round. Yeah, yes, it's true. Money makes the world go round.
But did you do more songs to her that never got released?
Not really. No.
So only 2 songs with Gunvor?
Yes.
Have you submitted anything more or tried out to participate in Eurovision again as a composer or singer?
Yes, there was one song which I submitted to the jury in the end of the 90s, and it was the song was called Gegen den Strom. And that's to my opinion, one of the best songs I ever wrote. You know, like.
Did you send it to Switzerland or Austria?
In Switzerland.
Can we hear it?
Of course.
Whoop whoop.
Gegen den Strom schwimmen, gegen den Wind segeln, gegen das Dunkel leuchten, gegen die Angst kämpfen, gegen den Sturm steuern, gegen den Hass lieben, gegen das Licht streben, gegen das Unglück hoffen, auf ein neues Morgen.
When we went to the 2000 years, I had completely new ambitions, you know, and plans musically, and Eurovision Song Contest got not interesting for me because I was interested in creating new stuff, new styles with a violin and with this gypsy style, you know.
Yeah.
And to my opinion, this had no place on a stage like Eurovision Song Contest.
One question I often got is why a song of the guest is not on Spotify. Like, I should know that, but this time I really would like to ask you, because not a single song with you is released on Spotify or iTunes under the name Egon Egemann. Why?
That's a good question. I guess
Because when I did my research for this interview, I tried to find the songs of yours, and it's more or less impossible if you don't live in Switzerland.
Mm-hmm. It's a pity.
Yeah,
It's a great
definitely.
pity. Yeah.
But can't that be changed?
I think I had many songs in the airplay of radio stations.
Yeah.
Particularly in regard to this Mad Manouche project. And at that time, Spotify was not really, I think it didn't exist. Spotify came later.
Yeah, absolutely. And iTunes too. But you can always re-release an album.
Maybe I should do that.
Yes, please do that.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, please do. What are you doing today in your life, Egon?
Today, I stopped teaching. I just do what I like to do. Playing music and a little bit producing. I still have my studio. And that's it.
I know you are doing some projects nowadays, like Mad Manouche. And you are working with your children on those projects?
Well, we started to work with this Two Generations project already in the beginning of the 2000 years.
Yeah.
And we had the chance to join a big show with this star dancers from Riverdance.
Yeah.
And I composed the music of this big show called Sky Dance. And I composed the whole Irish part,
Yeah.
And that's why the music style of this Two Generations project was characterized by this Irish style, And yeah, it was a great experience to be with the children on stage. The children were at that time quite young, and they liked it. They liked it a lot. And my daughter also played the violin, and Sasha, my son, he is still in my project, in my latest project now. It's called Egemann and Querbeat, and just violin and guitar, with my son.
Yeah. You have had some breakthrough on the world music charts.
Yeah, with Mad Manouche, we had 3 albums in the top 5 of the European world music charts.
Yeah,
we had a quite big radio success with a few of these songs,
Para mi mamita que me quite mi bombón, un caballito con ron, dura mi mulata. Tengo timón y es sabrosón, un caballito con ron, dura mi mulata. Para mi mamita que me quite mi bombón, un caballito con ron.
Can you live on your music, or do you have any other work?
No, I live on my music. That's.
But what has the last years been for you? I mean, no concerts because of the COVID.
The last year was a kind of disaster.
Yeah, I totally get that.
But I'm in the lucky situation that I did a lot of pre-work, and I can make a good living on my music rights, because all these hundreds of songs that I wrote and composed and produced bring a good money,
Yeah. Egon, are you on social medias?
Yes, I am, as Egon Egemann on Facebook. But I'm a very lazy.
I know.
You could see it.
But how do you interact with your fans?
basically through Facebook, but not on Instagram. You know, that's not my world.
I always ask my guests as the last question who they think I shall invite to the podcast. Who do you suggest?
Should it be something from Switzerland?
It's up to you. But please don't say Celine Dion.
I guess it would be very interesting if you could talk to Toto Cotugno.
Yep.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Great suggestion.
Yeah. I have another funny thing.
Yeah.
It could be really funny.
Yeah, please.
Because I did in 2015, I made a dream come true for myself, you know, like making a production in Styrian language. Do you know what it is?
No, not really.
Styrian is my mother language. It's an Austrian dialect.
Okay, yeah.
And I produced an album in Styrian language, you know.
Yeah.
It's a kind of folk touch, you know.
Yep.
And I will send a song from this album to you. It's very interesting.
Manchmal frage ich mich, warum bin ich jetzt, wo ich bin? Manchmal frage ich mich, wo führt das Leben noch hin? Und immer wieder frage ich mich, aber es fällt mir dazu nichts ein. Und dann weiß ich, warum ich da bin. Dann wird mir klar, warum das Feuer brennt in mir. Und dann weiß ich, was mich stark macht. Ja, dann weiß ich, es ist alles wegen dir.
I must ask, because you said here before that you could live on your music because you have done so many productions. What is your biggest hit?
First of all, a lot of things are still happening with the songs of Paldauer.
Yeah.
And they are still
active as a band.
Active and making money, you know.
Yeah. And they have been active since 1969. That's cool.
Yeah, that's right. And they are still really active, you know, like. But one of the Mad Manouche songs, "Train to New Orleans."
Yeah.
This is really a radio hit, and it's still burning in the radio.
I remember the night down in Bourbon Street, and I feel like I go insane. Yeah, I remember the kiss by the river fall, and we were dancing in the rain. I remember the night down in Bourbon Street, where the stars on the sidewalk shine. Jambalaya and crawfish pie made a day, making gumbo, drinking homemade wine.
Thank you so much, Egon. This was a lovely Friday.
Thank you. It was nice to be with you. I'm honored.
And thanks to you, my dear listeners, both in and outside of Switzerland. If you wish to contact me, my mail is emil@schlagervannarna.se, and you'll find us on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe so you always are updated with new episodes, and I hope we meet again soon. We keep in touch.
That would be nice.
Yeah?
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Song goes on around the world. A song, one like you never heard. A song goes out to everyone. A song, this is your song.